Well, back here in the United States, a big gathering on the White House South Lawn this afternoon as President Joe Biden celebrated the passage of the Inflation Reduction Act. But the latest numbers show consumer costs keep hurting American families. White House correspondent Owen Jensen reports. Owen?
Tracy, good evening to you. Members of Congress, cabinet secretaries, state leaders all came here to the White House today to celebrate that new law that Democrats passed by going around Republicans. Supporters say it will bring down inflation, but skeptics say no way.
You can see the crowd gathered at the White House today. President Joe Biden invited hundreds of people to promote the Inflation Reduction Act. The White House calls it one of the most consequential pieces of legislation in American history and a major win for middle-class families. Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre adds,
"The president is proud that this bill delivers on promises that Washington has made to American people for decades, like lowering costs for families and finally taking aggressive action to tackle the climate crisis."
But the White House goal of lowering costs for families may be wishful thinking. The monthly inflation rate shows consumer prices surged 8.3% last month compared with a year earlier. The cost of rent, healthcare, and cars all went up, raising the risk of another interest rate hike next week. Republican National Committee Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel says families simply can't afford Biden and the Democrats. Voters know that Democrats' reckless spending put us in this mess, and the only way to clean it up is to vote those politicians out. While Biden and Democrats take an out-of-touch victory lap today, Americans struggle to fill their grocery carts. The Biden administration also continuing its attacks on the U.S. Supreme Court. The vice president's office released a statement saying this summer's abortion decision is a danger not only to the women of America, but to women around the world.
This moment, post-Dobbs, highlights the fact that we still have a lot of work to do.
Now, pro-life groups, of course, vehemently and adamantly, resoundingly reject this administration's stance on abortion. They agree with the Supreme Court's decision to send the matter back to the states. Tracy?
Well, Owen, this isn't the first time that Vice President Kamala Harris has brought together abortion proponents. What have you noticed?
Well, we followed every day. We've seen the vice president holding several meetings, pro-abortion agenda meetings around the country, in fact, over the last several weeks. One thing we have not seen this administration do is reach out to any pro-life organizations to get their opinion on the sanctity of life and protecting unborn children. If that happens, we'll let you know. At the White House, Owen Jensen, EWTN News Nightly.